Hello everybody, I'm trying to turn this thing around so that that's not the way to do it. So I can go, I'm live, yay, up Periscope. I have to double tap the screen to get it to turn around. That's what I was doing. Hey, welcome back. This is 2016, Brag Right in 2016. I'm going to do 16 of these. This is number 3. And if you don't know what I'm talking about my book Promote. And I'm talking about personal promotion, personal self-promotion on the job. I really think this is one of the most important components of all my years of doing job search counseling. The thing I have found over and over and over is that people do not know how to express their value. To that end, I have figured out that probably people do not know how to promote themselves on the job, and too often that's why they're unemployed, or they don't get the promotion, or they don't get the raise. To that end, I was rereading actually, an article from November 1 issue of Bloomberg Business Week, which is the pay gap that haunts MBAs. And what's fascinating about this is equal education, equal credentials from the best business schools, Columbia, Harvard, etc. And after 5 to 8 years, women are not making as much money as men. There's lots of reasons. It covers just about all of them. But I do maintain that part of it is that women are not promoting themselves properly, not stepping up and saying, I'm worth all that. So anyway, to that end, what I want to talk about today and what I put on my blog, that's rickgillis.com. It's also the same post as on linkedin.com, so go look for it. But I want you to create an accomplishments worksheet. It's a worksheet that leads to an accomplishments inventory, a statement, if you will, and that is the piece of paper. And yeah, I said a piece of paper. It's a formal document that you need to be able to present or prepared to present at any time. So in line with the name, I'm calling this series hashtag Brag Right. And if you go to Twitter, of course, you'll find it. And that's where Periscope is. So how do you brag right? And so here's the big deal. I think you're probably going, so this clown expects me to write down everything I've done. Yeah, if you're one of my job search clients, I don't ask for it. I demand it, or I can't work with you, because that is what you have to sell. But anyway, what I want you to understand is that there's an app for that. Actually, there's several apps for that, and I alluded to this in my last post, but this is really important because here I am asking you to take an inventory of all those great things you've done, and the fact is, that's not easy, because when I work with a job search client, I make them go through the process of going back and asking coworkers, supervisors, family, say, what impact did I have? What difference did I make? And out of every 8 or 10 people, you might get one, but that's all you need that'll remind you, remember that time when we did, or remember that time you did, and you don't remember all this stuff. You might think you are, but you really don't. So, there's an app for that. There's actually lots of apps. There's lots of apps. And what I found, and I'm not going to recommend any one of them, and I've tried out 2 or 3 of them myself. What I am going to tell you is go to your app store and do a search on achievements, search on accomplishments, search on performance review, and you're going to find all kinds of stuff pop up. Take a look at them, see the one you like the best. And here's one of the ones that I used for about 3 or 4 months to try it out. I signed up and they sent me an email every day, and I set it up to go Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. that I would get just a reminder email that said, what did you do today? So I would click the link, it would take me over to their site, and it would provide me a page, and this was my own personal page, and it was archiving, and that's the really cool part, because this is keeping a history of all the stuff you're writing in here. You might write in 2 or 3 words, hit submit, write a whole story, hit submit. You can put as many or as few as you want in there. But here's the trick, and what's the most important part about is, because later on we're going to talk about quantification. You have to be able to quantify the value, those accomplishments that you produce, and see what value you're bringing. And a lot of times the value doesn't make itself apparent for quite some period of time. It might be 3 months, it might be 3 years. So having an app that you can go to periodically and take a look and say, and go back 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 months and go, whoa, I forgot all about that. And when you start looking at the value that added, let's talk about this. What I like to tell people is the chances are really good When you go back and look at those things, you know, we're throwing pebbles in the pond every single day, and we don't know where those ripples end up. And sometimes you go back and you look, and listen, a lot of accomplishments come from you're finding a better way to do something at the job, at the office, in how you counsel people, in how you manage information, whatever it is. You might find a better way. You might be just trying to save yourself 10, 15, 20 minutes. But when you start adding that up over a period of time, all of a sudden, that thing is a quantifiable accomplishment. So remember, and I've already told the story once before about this guy who I was working with, who told me he didn't consider this great job he had been doing as special because he was only doing what he was supposed to be doing. And folks, that's a really important piece. Doing what you're supposed to be doing and then telling somebody. Remember, this is all about brag right. I want you to be comfortable. I want you to prepare mindset that you're going to express to your leadership, to your management. And this does not mean just your boss, but your boss's boss and your boss's boss's boss. I don't want any of those people in that chain to take credit for your efforts. So make sure you do this appropriately, correctly. And let's keep a list of those things, and just remember that quite often a lot of the stuff you're doing right now is going to bear fruit later, but you need to remember what you did today. And I promise, I mean, I know myself, I can't remember what I had for lunch yesterday. I'll bet you can't either. And now I'm asking you to remember what you did on the job, maybe at 1 p.m. today or yesterday or last Friday or whatever. So anyway, I'm not going to keep this long. I'm going to be back here, what's today? Tuesday? I'm going to be back Thursday with number 4. And I want you to, here's my goal for you is to get the promotion you deserve. Get the raise you want. I especially want women to get the same equal pay as men. Find the job you want if you're out looking, and I want you to keep the job you love. In times of downsizing and termination, I want you to be the person who is going to be considered over anybody else or defend your position. Somebody just asked me, what's the name of the app again? There's several apps out there for the performance review. So go to your app store and search on achievements or accomplishments or performance review, because these are all based on performance review stuff. Now, when they go to enterprise, they cost money. So if you talk your company into using this stuff, which I consider really a good thing, they're going to cost, there's a fee. But for individuals, I have found them to be free. So I don't have an app name. I don't want to sponsor any one app. I just know that there are several that I have found, so go look for them. So anyway, keep the job you love, get the promotion, get ahead, and I'm going to be back shortly. Remember, I want to tell you my whole theme for this whole thing now, I've decided. Your work, I have it typed over here, I'm looking at this. Your work does not speak for itself. You do. That's what I want you to remember. You're the only person that can pat yourself on the back and get everybody else patting you on the back because you didn't have a problem telling somebody, hey, I did it and I did it really well. This goes to your LinkedIn profile. This is stuff. You don't have to brag. You have to be appropriate. You have to be consistent. And you have to be professional about it. So anyway, that's what I want to tell you. Go to rickgillis.com. Find me here. Please share this information on Periscope. I'm trying to get more followers. I want to build a following behind the Promote book. And I don't know what I did with it right now, although I know I have a bunch more behind me. But the Promote book is a little bitty book. And you can see I put a woman's image on it. This is actually a new cover. The original cover was significantly different. But I really want women to understand this stuff. Rick Gillis out. Periscope down. I'll see you guys Thursday. Take care, be successful. See ya.